the following: quality assurance for the graduates, for global competitiveness. Second, student and faculty mobility. Third, readiness of HAI to respond to ASEAN Integration 2015. So, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's okay. It's recorded.
Okay. There is certain structure or form for talks of discussion na equal exposure ng bawat member. So therefore, you've got to rearrange here. Hindi pwede ganito arrangement. Iba nasa likod mo, iba nasa harapan mo, iba nasa side mo. Dapat, yes. And then, you request her to come here. So, okay. Ang idea kasi round table.
So what I will do is, when I ask the questions and whoever will answer, I will give this recorder to the respondent. Okay. So the first question: what are your views and insights about the ASEAN integration in terms of economic opportunities? What are your views and insights about ASEAN integration in terms of economic opportunities? When we say economic opportunities, what are your views and insights about the free flow of skilled labor across the ASEAN region? Free flow of skilled labor across the ASEAN region.
As my capacity as student,
Yes, graduate school
or as a pastor, or as an interpreter, on all.
Based on experience as a graduate school student.
Insights, academician and graduate school student. Economic opportunities.
Okay.
Para sa ako, for example, workforce, we are in the advantage because we know how to speak English, we are skilled, and then in terms of wages, so dawat ng tauran, kamay nga sweldo. Okay, so kung nata sa gawas, katong for example, sweldo nato rin kamay, kung sa gawas, kamay na different dawat yapon na. So advantages para sa trabaho. Compared to other countries, other members of ASEAN nga, dagko na sila o income when they go to the Philippines, kamay ang sweldo, so most likely isa pa sa Pilipinas, but Filipino workforce can go outside, so advantages para sa trabaho.
Economic opportunities plenty, no, sa on the part sa employment, daghan ang ma-open na employment, daghan pwede manegosyo, no, maingon sila na disadvantage regarding sa pag-abot daw sa agriculture sector. Yes, siguro, pero naapoy opportunity once na ma-appeal ka sa ASEAN Economic Community, di ba? So sa kong end, though na siya daghang opportunity, daghan po siya hindrances na mahatag sa akong negosyo or sa po ang pagpang-empleyo later, no? Kaya kung atong tanawon sa banking sector, nila, ang total capitalization sa tanang bangko sa Pilipinas is equivalent only to one bank in Singapore. So, kung sa banking sector ka lang, napo po yung year, sa kaya magiging effect sa akong employment or sa ako ang employers. Sa akong negosyo, tunguna simplified lang kaayo, inato lang ato ang pagpadagan sa negosyo, pero wala siguro na ASEAN Economic Community na, ang pinataan na, naghanap kompetensya. And ang ato ka kompetensya siya kung tanawon nato, nagatuman sila sa mga strict standard abroad. Unlike diri sa TUA, miskan man lang gani sa construction, safety standard, halos dili ganit ang utuman. So, kung ang ato ang employees karon nga igunita nato without the giving them the standard sa safety, dahil ang probability nga mobalhin sila sa lain na mga employer nga mo sulod gikan sa lain Asian countries. So, kaya siya both positive o negative na siya mahatag, no? Or effect. Pero economically, so daan ako naghatag economic opportunities. Ang ato anak is, kung saan nga nato dapat ready ba ta para malink anak kanang ready ganit na nila makita dayon nga capable di ay ta sa ilang gusto ipahatag or makakumpita sa ilang.
Thank you, ma'am. Ay, when I started as an HRM department, HRM educators, it's a good advantage, especially for our students, since they have all NC2s, especially in the major subjects, like housekeeping, F&B, and everything. So, work employment, it's nice. So, very, pataas yung level nila in terms of working in abroad. But in terms of education, here in the Philippines, yung K-12, yun yung fear because yun na sabi ng CHAD, if we will not engage to education units and at the same time we will not pass the licensure exam, then we could not teach or even though doctors, if you have a degree of doctors. So that's the dilemma right now in the education, especially here in the HRM, that we are graduates for an HRM and we are the educators, but we can't teach if we don't have a license. That's yun yung problema. So, economically, it could help because boost yung yung working in abroad for the students. But what about us as an educators? So, what can the government do for us? So that might be a threat that as the educators, since we are the NC2 passers also, we might go to abroad also. So, walang magtuturo, walang maiwan dito. Kasi pag mapaiwan naman dito, masasuffer yung student, yung family. We don't have a work anymore because we need to earn a degree and to pass a licensure exam. So, yun yung ano ko. Pero economically, talaga, tataas. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. No, I still have other questions. Okay. So, I think some of these questions you have already answered, but I will continue with the follow-up questions. What are your views and insights about the issuance of visas and employment passes for ASEAN professionals and skilled labor who will be engaged in cross-border employment activities? Yeah, the same answer kay Sir. It has a great advantage here in the Philippines kasi nga mas maliit ang sweldo natin kumpara sa ibang bansa. Yun naman, ang disadvantage is from the other countries na kung saan mas malaki yung sweldo nila, what if kung dito naman sila sa atin naman magtrabaho. So, mas maliit. So, yun siya ang disadvantage.
Okay, to add on maybe the problem is the brain drain. It could be brain drain, ma'am. Maybe the expert will go to big companies that offers big salary because Philippines is lower wages and salaries compared to the foreign countries. So it might be that would be the problem that would be faced by some of the big companies in the Philippines.
Thank you. So, this may have been answered also, but it can be expounded. No? The answer can be expounded with this question. What are your views and insights about the competition of talents, wherein as companies upgrade their operations, they will compete more fiercely for scarce talent, giving a boost to the incomes of those who have the right skills? So, the question, what are your views and insights about the competition of talents, wherein as companies upgrade their operations, they will compete more fiercely for scarce talent, giving a boost to the incomes of those who have the right skills?
I think the Filipinos really has an advantage because we are English in speaking proficient, we're fluent in English. Because right now, some of the Chinese are coming to the Philippines, and then even Koreans, and then they want to learn English proficiency. And also, Vietnamese does not know how to speak English straight, and Indonesian and Thailander, but I think it's an advantage for the Filipinos. And right now, for the economic, in terms of economic, 3 hotels are coming back. The Sheraton, the Hyatt, and also the Westin for the preparation for the ASEAN 2015 because it's like Euro, it's open, and also I think the tourism will boost and also the economic also will boost in the Philippines. But it should be straight with regards to passporting and visa. There should be a system that, and also there should be also yung mga scanners for inspection and bordering. There should be stricter and more because in the US meron talagang entry point and outside point. So where the government should secure our country. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Rose.
At least na po yung negative. Ang point na po na po is, ready ba ako minong ka nga, ang ato magong thinking is, positive siya, tungkol kayo makapadala ta. Pero sa kung end, employer ko, negative siya sa kuha kay. Kanan karon, workers, they need to be accredited. Di ba na natin mga test ka accreditation? So, kinahanglan ko magpadala yun ng tao para matrain. Once na matrain sila, ang tendency, marambak sila because open. Diba? So, na sila choice other than the Filipino employers. Kung saan manitabot sa negosyo. Diba? Mo siya problema na ko. So, kung ngayon ka, accreditation, kung sa kadaghan sa ito ang workers karon ang accredited. Diba? Bago lang na nag-start magpa-accredit ang mga workers, additional cost siya sa tuwa. So, nagalag ang business. Ang akong point niya is, dapat diba, una tabangan sa government ang mga negosyante sa Pilipinas. Dili nga, i-allow niyo mo ang ubang negosyante easy access sa tuwa. Diya po, pa niyo gitabangan ang existing businessman. Diba? Dapat ang tato, parang makashock ka din sa yung end. Dapat din mag-prepare niya. Kapit na, 2050, next year na to, pila na sa mga. Months away. No, months away. No, meron anak pa. So, kung mayroon ng bukas, bakit dito kayo naminahon, kung sa part sa academics, no, sa mga teachers, na, yes, kung ako product na ako mabutlan. Pero sa part na nag-receive sa imong product locally, maglupad na po sila. Asa na po kumangkuha? Diba? Meron anak.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am.
When it comes to talent sa Filipino, communication, we have a great advantage. However, in evolving or innovation for technologies, wala na. Whereas yung ibang country, they're more advanced in technology. So, therefore, since our main purpose ng ASEAN integration is to lower down the tariffs and barriers for international trade. And therefore, they can easily access the Filipino. And one fear of the government or the business owner, small business owner, is that our businesses here kayang tapatan ng mga outside, which is mas more mura. For example, even wala pa tayong open trading, mas marami ng mga China ng mga product where sa ngayon pa lang, in the present scenario, already parang natalo na yung mga local businessmen natin when it comes to the same product. So that is the cons of globalization or opening the trade. Yun nga, yung sabi ni Ma'am, dapat we are more strictly. Hindi ibig sabihin na lower down the tariffs and
lower down the tariffs and yung barriers, it doesn't mean na lahat ng product nila is pwede nang pumasok dito. Kasi hindi pa masyadong strengthen yung agreement when it comes to international trading. So dapat merong restrictions na dapat itong product na ito, since wala ito sa country, ito lang yung free na mapasok sa country. Kung meron na kami dito, dapat i-limit namin kasi meron din kaming own supply. That would detriment our economy. So that's
So, thank you, sir. Now, the next question is, do you think economic integration is important in the ASEAN? Why is it so? If yes, why is it so? If no, why is it so? ASEAN states. Do you think economic integration, although some of the, this is already answered earlier by the question. The government yes, we may, yes, it is not a choice, but it is our personal opinion whether you think it is important or it's or not. Parang ganon. For me, the advantage, one of the advantages like the euro, there should be a free flow and also a monetary and currency, and it's better, but they have also policies and procedures like in London, they can purchase the land if they are foreign or no, if they really are a nationality, and also for the Italy, and then they have one train talaga, and their European are very close with each other. And also the disadvantage for the Filipinos, most likely is the competition, and also there are lots of big countries and also countries like rich countries like China, Korea and Japan, and also rich countries like Singapore and many others, which it is a very threatening to our country. But we will be praying that everything will be fine for the Filipinos.
Sige, additional when it comes to it is advantage for economically for the ASEAN integration. Yes, it is. Because, for example, what other pros and cons? Now, pros is that it is advantages for our economic. It's because we can copy how other industrial country boost their economy. So we can copy it because it is applicable in some areas in the Philippines. But however, the problem is it's not actually the competence of the Filipino workers. It is about the support of the government. Kasi ASEAN integration is already been implemented 5 years ago. So bakit before, why not the government already strengthen the policies and trainings for all the Filipinos in order for us to be more competitive for the other country na member ng ASEAN. So dapat doon pa lang na-strengthen na ng government na i-train na itong mga taong ito para pagdating ng full implementation, we can compete. So wala nang masyadong burden sa atin na parang yung nahuhulog na lang yung Filipino na parang laborer na lang, and then the big owner are from the other countries, parang ganon. So doon parang yun yung problema, one problem of the government. But when it comes to economically, it is more advantages for all the members of ASEAN.
Additional, it's also a cross-cultural and also religion. So there are lots of Muslims and also communism. Kasi konti lang ang Catholics in Asia. So that is one of the threats.
And also, additional for the threat is most of the language that we're using is English. But of course, since we are in the ASEAN integration, we need to know more in Chinese, Mandarin, and Hongkong, and everything. So and of course, on the other side, we Filipinos are very flexible. We could easily, learn the language. So that's a good thing for us, as we can easily adopt So that's the good thing.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so I will go to the next question. This may be answered already when you answered the questions on economic opportunities. So we go to the socio-cultural opportunities. So what are your views and insights about ASEAN integration in terms of socio-cultural opportunities? So that's where the question of the mga Muslims and then the languages will come in. But I will move forward to the follow-up questions. What are your views and insights about the equitable access to human development across the ASEAN region? It may not be clear. I will move forward. What are your views and insights about the universal access to primary education across the ASEAN? Move forward to another question. What are your views and insights about compulsory primary education for all? What are your views and insights about compulsory primary education for all?
The curriculum of the basic education should be like in America na dire-diretso. Hindi pa ba inline talaga dire-diretso na pagkatapos sila ng grade 12, they can work. And like in America, grade 12, everybody can work in any area. When I was there, they were shocked because, yes ma'am, college kami pero yung work namin pa, lahat ng nasa industry sa hotel are all high school graduates. Even though senior high, even though managers, your college level, because in America, if you're into college and into doctoral, that's a very highest and privilege, because in America it's very expensive if you go to college and doctoral. So we're very fortunate here in the Philippines that we can still study doctoral, but hopefully that our graduates will be competitive enough.
Economic community is also pattern sa Europe, no? The European. 2 years to protect the community. That's why 50 years, 50, 50.
So making it that there is
mag-worry.
so since you're
Dapat mas lesser atong preparation. Dapat mas lesser ang preparation sa ato kay nangupya na ng manta. Okay? Sila, ano na sila ingupya ka? Okay, so I will move into the next question. What are your views and insights about the gender equality in education regardless of social class, geography, ethnicity, background, or physical disabilities? That is on the ASEAN integration in terms of socio-cultural opportunities. We are now in the socio-cultural opportunities. Kanina in economic yun. So, next, what are your views and insights about the priorities to eradicate illiteracy? Eradicate illiteracy.
Siguro kailangan mo na i-define what is meant by literacy.
Education for all. There is education for all.
The definition of literacy in the Philippines may be different from literacy in other countries. So there must be There must be consistent definition.
It is education for all, from the primary to
Who is considered literate? Somebody who can read and write? Is that it? Or so there must be a definition of what is
okay. This is in terms of education.
Yeah, so who is considered literate? Somebody who finishes grade 12? Or somebody who just can read and write and do some computation?
Okay. Sige, ma'am. Do you think socio-cultural integration is important in the ASEAN?
Yes.
Why is it so?
Actually, socio-cultural yung parang equilibrium is a worldwide policy na no one is allowed to discriminate these different group of people. It is actually a global context. Now, in ASEAN integration, kasali na kasi yung China. And knowing the culture of the Chinese, they don't easily trust other nationality aside from Chinese people. So from them, yun yung parang pinakalas na nagpa-member yung China when it comes to ASEAN integration. Sila yung pinakalas na nagpirma na sasali sila for ASEAN integration. Because of that culture. Kasi communist sila eh. So they are communists, they are closed-minded person. And now they are actually expanding. So more or less 60% of the product worldwide is owned by China. So from there, baka iniisip nila, if we will continue this culture, might as well it will forsake our business. Baka hindi tayo papasukin in that country. Kasi hindi tayo nagtatrust sa kanila eh. So therefore, hindi tayo nila papapasukin. That's why they ratified the ASEAN integration as part of their first move to open their market fully in terms of their social-cultural, their economic, educational system, and even government administration or ways na ino-open nila.
For the insights about the socio-cultural and gender, mostly in an organization, the general manager, especially in the Asia, are Indian, Chinese, and German, American. So that's most of the organization, the top management are this kind of people. And also, mostly of the managers are male, but I really do not know. Mostly men. And also in the government and private sector, but not here in the Philippines. Women are very empowered, but hopefully in Asia we have the chance that also women can be at the top or middle administration in the organization. That's all.
Based on that premise na parang bakit maraming lalaki ang managerial position compared to girls, that is because of the culture or the personality of the men. Kasi pag men, when they decide firms, it's because majority, that is based on survey. Now, when men decide, as much as possible, that is fixed. Whereas women can change from time to time. Diba? Kasi more compassionate. Kasi more compassionate ang woman eh. So, pag mag-decide sila nito, tapos meron silang naapektuhan na iba, so they will going to, as much as possible, they need to cover it. Kaya i-change naman nila yung decision. Depende ma'am, pag business ma'am, you need to be right, not to be kind.
Thank you, sir.
Kung magiging kind ka sa business,
Diba, apart sa social-cultural, how ready is Philippines in protecting its social-cultural practices? Isa na instance lang, wala pa gani kaya na nag-open ng Asian Economic Community, pero mas easy gani makasunod ang tagalaing nasong sa tuwa. Kaya matingala lang yun ko ba, daghan kayong inchi na moingon na yan sila, Pilipino daw, sa Philippines ID. Pero na-ay birth certificate. Nasa Pilipinas sila nang ipanganak. Kung sa kayo maitamo kung mag-isyan economic community na, di ba? Well, in Anagod, siguro mga nag-class at China nagpirma, dahil na una, miskan wala pa ng AEC, makasunod sila miskan asang nasod. No? Kag meron to silang mata, pero nga nung makasunod sila dahil sa di ba matinanan Diyos ko, naghan kayo ka na ano ba? O, kana ganing, ay, masaktan lang yun mo nga dito siya kasabot. Kung Pilipino, kung di rin yun siya yung panganak, dapat kasabot na siya Bisaya, Tagalog. Di ba kay, Pilipino sa siya. Ay, magdala o interpreters eh. Pero kalipain ID. Ang pinaka-ID niya, birth certificate. Ma'am, NSO.
Ma'am, you can do late registration.
Oh, nawa? So, kanang mga question nila na ba, kung sa ka-prepare ang atong sistema,
Okay, so we move on to the next research question. How do the academicians and graduate school students describe the possible effect of ASEAN integration 2015 on the HEI's higher education institutions in terms of the following: quality assurance for the graduates for global competitiveness, student and faculty mobility, 3. Readiness of HEIs to respond to ASEAN integration 2015. Question, guys. How do you describe the possible effect of ASEAN integration of the HEIs in terms of quality assurance for graduates for global competitiveness? What are your views and insights of the education reforms of the Philippine government towards quality assurance? I think this is where
I think for the ASEAN quality assurance, the CHET and the TEST are working together for the typology, the quality assurance for the K-12, and also for the national certificate and competencies. And then they are gearing and preparing for the IBED and also for the colleges. But right now, the skills, we have technical and BOM for the business, arts, and also for the management and the science, and also for the technical skills. So that is and the CHET are preparing for that. But our threat is there will be faculty deloading for the 2015 because we will migrate from college to junior high and senior high. The minor subjects also, there will be specialization, and also there will be changes of curriculum and more of the learning outcomes based curriculums. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Rose. Next question. What are your views and insights on the access of quality higher education through scholarships, student loans, and other means to finance college education, especially for poor students? Okay, so we move on to the next. What are your views and insights of the educational standards vis-a-vis regional and global developments? educational standards. What are your views and insights of educational standards vis-a-vis regional and global development?
My concern is about how the programs are implemented. Filipinos are very good at planning, no? Planning. Very good at creating new projects, new programs. But the problem is the implementation part of it. And we have to take note that implementation part would need a lot of political stability. But in the first place, that is the very big question mark in the Philippines, the political stability with everything that's happening around. And I don't know, but from what I hear, some people have lost some faith in our current administration. So that would be a very, very big problem. We have a lot of plans, a lot of programs, but the foundation is a little shaky because development is always attached to political stability. So unless we target first the political stability, whatever we have for all these programs may not be will not come to reality. So that's it. At this point, it's so good to listen to the programs that are being talked about K to 12, all this. Pero as simple as allocation of the budget, that will depend on political stability. Even the communicating all the plans, nakapag sila difficulty. No? Para mag-communicate lang sila kung information dissemination regarding sa ABC. Halos gamay naman nakabalo. Even sa mo ang interview with interpreters, nag-blank ko ba siya na? Because the government does not totally disseminate the information. So, majority sa Pilipino siguro is still in question. Kung sa gitang hindi sa katulong may question yun niya mang na kasi effect niya sa mga institutions. Dapat ganin, institution should also be ready to become accrediting body of different skills. Eh, ang kasagaran di ay nga pagitaon, pag-EBC na, dapat kanang accredited ka. And situ, ka naman anak, kung atong tao to, na test na lang implement sa accreditation, basi.
Unsa tuan? Unya na lang, unya na kay kuan pa ko. Sige, i-off na lang. Ayos ako sa muka palihog.
Mahutang na trabahante na accredited. So, ngayon ka na ready na, pero actually, dili ay ready. Na what to dito kay dili accredited, wala siya certification. So, kung halimbawa, test na lang ang naglihok ana, dili mag-involve ang mga institutions, school institutions, dapat suglan na nato. Kay, isa na siya sa opportunity sa school na makadugang o income.
Actually, ginagawa mo nga siya may mga IOPS test lang. Way back 8 years ago, 10 years ago. Ang known, choosy ang test does sa school, it's because of the facilities.
Yeah.
Facilities. Kasi mini-make sure ng TESDA na these school that will offer technical courses are well equipped in terms of qualification of the teachers that will teach on these technical courses and then the facilities of the school. Ganon. Correct.
Programs are so good, they are well planned, there are no pandemic and people to run well. More concern, somebody is going to make use of the budget out of the program. Yeah, because that has been happening with all the issues around. That's why I pinpoint political stability as the most important concern now. Unless we target, we do something about our political stability, that the president can be as it says to something about the political stability. We are even lazy to go to the port to vote. Oo, diba? That's my view, madam. Like all these plans and the programs, but just my concern is how to address the political stability.
Thank you, ma'am. So, the next question, how do you describe the possible effect of ASEAN integration of the HEIs in terms of students and faculty mobility? Follow-up question, what are your views and insights about the mobility of students and teachers in terms of exchange programs to other ASEAN member countries or international schools?
Exchange scholar. No. Even before the ASEAN integration implemented last 5 years ago, schools and universities, especially state universities, are actually required to have a tie-up with other universities outside the country, and they need to have at least minimum of 2 faculties to exchange faculties, and at least minimum of 5 student outside. So when I was in college sa USEP, meron kami yung University of Australia. Yun yung tie-up namin. And yun yung nga, masasabi ko na meron kasi meron kaming teacher na ipinadala doon at meron din silang teacher na ipinadala dito. So, even before the ASEAN, meron na yan siya for global competitiveness.
The chat right now has SIAP, the Student Internship or International Exchange Program. And also, like us, we've been doing 7 years right now for the America, but it's different because it's from the Office of the President, like the Student Exchange Program. The America is the government. That's the program to have an exchange student. But right now, by the CHED, they are still doing policies and procedures about the ASEAN to make our students safe in Malaysia, Thailand, and also. But I think Japan is open right now for exchange students. Thank you, ma'am. More question. What are your views and insights about mobility of students and teachers in terms of research and research fora? Do you think sociocultural immersion among students and faculty is important in ASEAN integration? Why is it so?
It's important because, di ba, different po nilang culture. So, para mas mabalaan nato kung saan yun ang kuan, na para makita natin sa mga opportunities, di ba, dapat lagi tayo field trip dito. See you there.
Thank you, ma'am. Additional, ma'am, is that having this immersion, you could learn the way, how do they work, what is their way of living, something like that. So, having that kind of immersion, it will give us more knowledge on what is their business all about, what are they doing, something like that. Especially for the HRF. So, we need to be more skilled. Thank you so much, ma'am. So, 3 more questions and we're done. Okay, this has something to do with how do you describe the possible effect of ASEAN integration of the HEIs in terms of readiness of HEIs to respond to ASEAN integration 2015? So, follow-up question, what are the strengths of the HEIs that you consider at least is at par with international standards?
In terms of readiness, I guess not only educational institutions are ready to K to 12. Not only the private schools, but including the public schools, diba? Kasi with K to 12, there will be more students. So the question is the public school capable of accommodating this number of students? So one
of their solution is the excess students, they will hatag nila dito sa private schools. But with corresponding budget lang na ganito. So, yes, the government tendency is, it's a disadvantage naman sa part ng mga private schools. So, malugi po sila. And if yun namang mga private schools, not all of them are ready. They have enough classrooms, well as teachers. So, ganun. So, in terms of readiness, siguro not all.
In short, thank you, ma'am. It's a big surprise.
Last time, I guess last September or October 5, yung World Teachers Day, merong summit for all the teachers, meron silang meeting for K-12 program. And honestly, for Davao region, only Ateneo de Davao University are prepared for the K-12. Other schools they're still planning, but in terms of facilities, laboratories, classrooms, and all, and even budget are not yet ready. But they do have plan. But only Ateneo is ready and prepared for the K-12 program. And aside from that, based on our research as well, kasi K-12 program yung research namin for 2 years extension, fears and challenges of the parents. Now, our result, sinasabi ng mga parents is that first, financially, it is burden for the parents not to give additional 2 years more na magpaaral. Aside from that, they've already viewed that the facilities of the schools are really not equipped or ready for ASEAN integration for additional enrollees and extension of the years for senior and junior high school. So ganun, parang hindi pa talaga ready. There are no available laboratories. That's why the government is now inducing that those junior and senior high school will be channeled to private schools where merong available na laboratories that could cater the managerial, basic foundation managerial management subjects, yung mga basic subjects na may incur ng mga junior at saka senior. However, private schools are not ready yet to approve the proposal of the government kasi sila mismo hindi din sila ready for that.
Budget per student is only 15,000. So, mo na siya. Kasi, July per semester sa private school, diba, 20,000, 20,000. Pero, mayaman na sa gawin 15,000. So,
I think siya mag-shell out ang mga parents for junior and senior high. Kasi ang subsidy ng government, maliit lang.
Thank you. With regards to EHI and the tourism sector, especially the need fee, right now, the Region 11 are and also international for the need fees, especially in our program. We have in the ASEAN, for the ASEAN, we have only one website, and also we can go there, PowerPoint, lahat nandyan na lahat. So, with all of the ASEAN 2015, yun ang ginagamit namin lahat ng faculty na doon na ready na for all of the ASEAN, and that will be the materials are ready na. And we are also ready, especially the HR, the industry, and the ACTA team. Thank you. And thank you so much. Can I say something about research? I have two friends who are researchers in Western countries, no? They say that in the field of research, Filipinos are very good. To consider that, let's say, come to think of it, you as doctoral students here, you are asked to deliver so much, and yet the facilities and the materials that are provided you by the school are very minimal. In those Western countries, the life of the graduate students are so easy because everything are provided to them. But then, after graduation, place them together, the Filipino can beat a Western. So that means, inherently, Filipinos have that very, very big potential to be good researchers, regardless of whether they have the needed facilities or not. So I think in the field of research, we can very much compete. Yeah, the Filipino students are so diligent, no? Yeah, yung observation ng dalawang friends ko because they handle graduate students din doon. Sabi niya, alam mo, Peli, sa Pilipinas,
Kasi sipag ng mga estudyante natin compared sa mga estudyante dito. They're given all the resources and the facilities and yet they don't deliver so much. But if you give these kinds of resources and facilities to Filipinos, they could imagine how far these graduate students can do. So I think that's one thing Filipinos can be very good and can be very, very competitive.
Pasasabihin natin, Filipinos are more competitive regardless na wala tayong mga facilities. We cannot squeeze anything kasi wala tayong facilities. So by hook and by crook, hahanap talaga tayo ng paraan para to secure the output, expected output.
So that means potential success.
Oo.
And
We have it. Pero, ang problema din, ma'am, is pag meron tayong kumpletong gamit, ang Filipino, ang tendency is natatamad. Kasi andun na lahat, so hindi na gagawin. Kasi, na. So, ganun ang culture ng Pinoy. That's why it is better for us to have none, to have few, para to boost up ourselves, not to strive more. Compare sa bibigyan. Diba? Kasi, one example, ma'am, is yung mga OFW, yung parents, tapos mga anak. Compared sa mga, andito lang yung parents, tapos kulang yung pera ng mga parents para sa mga anak. So, their children, for those poor people, they will strive more to get good grades in school because they wanted to change their life. Whereas yung mga nasa outside, lahat binibigay ng pera, pero no, di ba, based on observation from my neighbors' perception. Ganon siya, ma'am.
Pero additional sa iyo, sir, yung sa abroad, ma'am, of course, based again sa my perception, as what I've observed, that's why the students are not striving, especially for those who have money, it's because lack of guidance of the parents. Yeah, one factor. Unlike with the parents who are here, they are guided. Pero yung walang parents, they're not guided. Anong gagawin ng pera? Eh, di malulunga sila.
These are graduate students. And as I can compare, they now handle their Western college students. So ako kada, merong ang constant variable of factor. The two faculty. They were here before. They were teachers of Filipino graduate students. Now they are teachers of Western graduate students. They say that our graduate students are much, much better. Wow. Yes. Thank you. At baka pinalalakas na sila ang loob ng mga Pilipino. So, inherent naman talaga yun sa Pilipino. That's when I was doing the job. Dahil pinagmamalaki talaga ang Pilipino, kaya maraming yung na-hire na Pilipinos sa pagdating sa website. Yes. Napakano talaga ang Pilipino, maraming motivation. Something good pa. Yeah. So, dito ba ang tapat ng mga Pilipino? Yes. It's inherent in Filipinos na we are very competitive. So, I would like to thank you all, classmates. Salamat talaga. And ma'am, thank you so much for accommodating me in this. Sabi po, so alam naman ako. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So, as a way of thanking you, I have here, I'm giving away perfumes. These are perfumes that I need, no? So, you can choose. This is Burberry London. This is CK1. Inspired by CK1. Calvin Klein. This is Bulgari. So, ang Calvin Klein, unisex siya. Babae, lalaki. Ito pang babae ito, Burberry London. Ito pang babae kay Bulgari. So, you like? Yes, you like? Okay, Bulgari. Okay. So, magkamo siya lahat. So, I thank you so much. Yes, you're welcome.